Welcome to the Zen Diaries. My name is Noria, and we also have our other hosts. We have Anna, Adri, and Honey.
Hey.
That was kind of sad, not gonna lie.
I'm excited, I swear.
We'll just be doing some casual talking today. Are we going to the introductions? Who wants to start first? Anna, you started the last time. Take it away, Miss Thane.
Right. My name is Anna. I am 20 in June. Fun times being adults and stuff. I dislike my friends and dislikes ketchup. I don't like ketchup. It's a good thing to point out. Um, what else? What else? What else? And I go by she, her, they, them, and anything in between, to be honest. Sir, ma'am, anything works. So yeah, that's me. Next.
Okay, next was me. That's why it went. I go by Noria. It has no meaning if you guys are wondering. It's just like popped up in my head. Um, I am also turning 20 in June per Gemini thing, Moon and Sun, and I Cancer rising. Um, what do I do? What I like? I like photography. Ooh,
Photography.
woo! Photography for the win. Yes, guys. I like food. I think we all like food. We like bread.
Woo! We like
And
bread
I think
and we like
if
noodles.
you like bread, you should come in or tell us some way somehow that you like bread. Right. I studied forensic chemistry. My pronouns are she, her, they. That's it. Yeah. Miss Honey, it's your turn. Please.
Hello, my name is Honey, and I'll be 20 in June as well. I'm also a Gemini, you know. Um, what do I do? What do I do? Well, you see, I am been studying almost a pro at it in pedology, aka sleepology, or something like that. And my pronouns are sushi.
Creative.
Sushi. Thank you for having me. On to the
Woo.
next reporter.
Okay, so hi, I'm Adri. I'm going to be 20 next month. My pronouns are she and her. I'm going to school for psychology, but I'm thinking about switching to sexology because why not? So yeah, yeah. I'm the only Aries here, which is sad, but that's about it.
Oh, air and fire. We'll love to see it. It's going to be really interesting. Okay, so what were we talking about before? Right, we're talking. I think got into sexuality. That's how we got to the topic that we got to. And of course, our favorite topic is the super straight movement that is booming now.
Hashtag super straight movement.
Does anyone have any thoughts on the super straight movement?
I don't get it. That's my only thought, but to be honest, it's so mind-boggling as to why it needs
Straight.
down. I'm quote unquote straight. I still don't really know yet, but like I don't see the point of having another box, if that makes sense, like another place to put people and increase the segregation if we're already trying to diffuse the segregation that is between straight and the LGBT community. I mean, I kind of understand it, but also it does not make sense. And the fact that it was felt necessary to bring up a box feels very trying too hard to not be homophobic vibes. You know what I mean? You just do less, maybe do less. Just exist for now. How about we do that and stop trying to create boxes to put people in? It was very confusing, if I'm being honest.
I'm not sure if I should like play the video. I think it will pick up the audio just in case people don't know what is the super straight.
Yo guys, I made a new sexuality now, actually. It's called super straight, okay? Since straight people or straight men as myself, I get called transphobic because I wouldn't date a trans woman. You know, they're like, would you date a trans woman? I'm like, no, why? That's a female. No, like that's not a real woman to me. Like I want real woman. No, you're just transphobic. So now I'm super straight. I only date the opposite gender women that are born women. So you can't say I'm transphobic now because that's just my sexuality, you know?
Big brain. We love it.
I just
So-
feel like that's stupid
I
because
think a lot more brain
even
cells.
lesbians get called transphobic because some lesbians wouldn't date a trans woman. So would there be another sexuality called super lesbians?
Why
I mean, it makes sense based on this guy's logic.
why stuff at super straight? We could have a super. You know, let me tell you, the thing though that really irritates me about it, besides from the undertones of transphobic behavior, is that the stuff that they put underneath it, that the reason, because of people from the LGBTQ plus community are upset about this, they're like, oh, we're using what they're saying against them. So they're
But
like,
that don't make no sense.
like the first comment on this video, because I got this, they said that he used their own logic too, and they still butthurt about
How is that our logic?
But it
Like,
is very, hold on. LGBT is inclusive in a way that it incorporates a lot of different people and accepts them for who they are. However, super straight, if that's what we're doing now, it doesn't really include anyone. It wasn't super straight for women and men. It was super straight for males only. It wasn't super straight for I don't know. My point is, it's not very inclusive. It doesn't do anything really other than point out the fact that you have a preference in choosing between a trans person and a cis. Is that the correct word? A
it.
cis person. Like, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't incorporate anybody. It doesn't include anyone. It's just trying to bring up a point that straight people want to be seen or straight men want to be seen, because I don't mind being in the shadows, but like it feels unnecessary and overdone, if that makes sense.
No,
it
I
does.
think it's inclusive. I think it's inclusive. You know why?
Please tell
It
us.
includes, oh, of course, it includes homophobic people. Okay, so it's inclusive. So if you're homophobic and stuff, you are included. Like, it does include women too, because I guess if the woman only dates man, it's a man who is just, born a man, a cis man, then she can be part of the super straight club because it's only born men,
But
cis
that
men.
was that was that was not the energy that it was giving. It was giving me very homophobic vibes. Like they're trying
Very
to
No, it is
stupid.
homophobic. No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. It's inclusive for homophobic people. It's a homophobic sexuality. Let's call it that, because that's what it is. If you're homophobic, I don't know how to explain this, but like that's how I'm seeing it. They basically just change the name of homophobic to being called super straight. That's the new word for homophobic to me.
I mean, I kind of get it, but also you never have to do that. You never have to make a whole new club. Is that what we're doing? Because it has to be a club.
No, homophobic has such a bad name to it. That's why.
You know what is surprising, I must say, is that there are people that, have, if you've watched like fake coming out videos, people who react to fake coming out videos. I think what some people say is that people are really, really what's the word? Really like, oh no, we're not homophobic, we're for the LGBT. Up until like something happens where it's like at the front, like the front gate, they're homophobic up until up. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm homophobic up until my child is. Oh, I'm homophobic up until whatever. Oh, I'm homophobic. I'm not homophobic. I'm sorry. I'm not homophobic up until
I
this.
respect them.
I mean,
I don't accept them.
it's
Yes. Wow. That's
I don't think I can get on board with that. Because it kind of
Mm-mm.
goes both ways. You do what you want to be done to you. So I don't think I can say that. Um, but but I get what you mean. It's disrespectful to say the least. It's disrespectful and unnecessarily done.
the craziest thing is that most of the people that I see that are reacting with this, that are not within the LGBTQ community, are cis heterosexual men. And the reason why they're so a part of it is because they don't see trans women as real women, which is it is quite triggering when they say that. I must say, I'm like, okay,
But
and
even if like a trans woman goes through her transition, how will they know that she's not a real woman without her telling them?
Exactly. They're like, but there was once a penis there. Forgive me. A penis there. Penis is not a bad word. Remember yes. Anyway, we're going to see the scar. I'm like, you will not see the scar. Have you seen the videos? You will never know unless she tells you.
Exactly.
I think because I watched a few trans because I really needed to know, is it transphobic to say if trans people themselves think it's transphobic to not want to date trans people, and majority of them said that it's not transphobic, um to not want to, because people are allowed to have genitalia preference. And the problem that they do have though is like when you are talking about that is trans, you are obviously mentally and sexually attracted to them. However, it becomes a huge problem. Especially even if they're post-op, it like with when they're post-op. My bad, sorry. That you start to see them differently once they tell you, "Oh, I'm transgender." Then the views on them kind of shift. Like, "Oh, this a man, this not a woman." Like,
Um,
you were feeling me like 3 seconds ago. What happened? You know?
because they have this idea that if I like this trans woman, that would make me gay, and gay is wrong. That's how they think because they see the woman as a woman still, and if they like that woman and the woman is a man, I'm gay. But I'm not gay because I'm supposed to be straight. How can I like a man if I'm straight? You know,
Yeah, yeah. I get what you
They're
mean.
just
that's how they think.
confusing.
That's
I
really how
just
they think.
I
I don't
also
understand what they're trying to promote because their flag, I don't even know if I can call it a flag, looks like it's promoting porn, and then
It's
you're promoting what? Just being attracted to cis women. It just not adding up.
and I think when I was in my upset when I first saw it, because of course a friend of mine posted it there, I was like, are the heterosexuals okay? And I mean, you have to ask because and then I was like, why do you need a flag? My stance was that it is the norm. That was my first stance given before I did any type of thing. It is like you're saying, okay, here is the normal, okay, right? Then if you need a flag for the normal, then what was the point of the LGBTQ plus community making their flag?
the LGBT are taking over. We have to make a statement now to show that straight people are still here. Not just any straight person. The super straight people are here. We have to make a statement. It's 2021 now and everyone's gay. Oh my god, the world is coming to an end.
Yeah, it gave me that vibe. Strong vibes of whatever that was. Very strong vibes.
More of what my friends say. Of course, I'm just quoting what I've heard because it's the only. So I don't know if they're straight. They're super straight movementer. I don't know, but they
Call it that.
they seem to be on the side of the super straight. They had a lot of opinions that were not aligned
Mm.
about it. So I was
Mm.
like, when I said, this is, I'm just quoting what I said again. When that's what straight people have been doing countless times in history. I said that. What did I say about that? Oh, trying to find the message. Goodness. Right, you're the blueprint. So why do you need something that oppress people made to make themselves safe? Then you're going to say it's us not being inclusive when that straight people have been doing countless times in history. Because they're using exactly what the gay that's their movement. They're doing exactly what the gay people did to get their quote unquote cause out there. That cisgender people should date cisgender people,
But
right?
it's not a cause. It isn't a cause. Cause of what? Are they mentally stressed? What is the cause? I don't understand. Are they going insane because they need to speak their truth? I don't understand. What is the cause?
Because what we're doing is wrong, and it's just wrong, and we're taking over. We're taking over. That's all. We're taking over. We're multiplying. We are corrupting the young generation into this awful way of life.
Wow,
I just
that's
don't understand why it have to be super straight though. Like,
Because straight was
Because
not enough. It was not
clearly
because
enough.
not
straight
enough.
people would still talk to transgender persons. They still had their minds open to transgender persons because they started to view them as that sex they claim to be. Like, how can they claim? How can they? What? No, that's not straight. We are super straight. We don't deal with them.
this sounds super stupid. I don't know who, like, somebody really sat down and said, hey, let me make a sexuality that just includes stupid people like me. And
Yes.
people
That
sit down
includes
and
my
agree.
homophobic friends and me. So, but instead of calling it homophobia, let's call it being super straight. How about that? It's a sexuality now, so I can be it because I identify as super straight, and you can't come for my sexuality because that's what I identify as.
Like, what are they going to celebrate?
Super
Straightness,
sweet, I guess.
Like,
vanilla-ness, blandness.
it's just not making sense. I'm really trying hard to get it, but I'm not getting it at all.
I also think that this quote unquote movement, it is pushing back the 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 is even I don't know what's the word, but it's pushing back men open up to explore their sexuality. It
Yeah.
pushes it back real further because now you're saying that, oh, no, that men have to be, not only do they have to be straight, they have to be super straight,
Super
which
straight.
means that they cannot go out and explore their sexuality as women can. They have to be out here being super straight.
Like, there
Yeah.
wasn't enough male toxicity.
I was saying this before about the performative bisexuality video that I was watching today. I'll look for who it is in a minute. But the person was saying that females are allowed to have a little more openness with their sexuality because of the male gaze, and male aren't allowed to do that because they're somehow judged and I don't remember what the proper word is, but they're judged for being open with their sexuality, like even if it's like one time or they're just trying to figure out what they like and what they don't like. Girls are allowed to do it a little bit more and be more open with it rather than males having that opportunity. And this just kind of further pushes that narrative as to what is still acceptable and what isn't acceptable.
I don't
You
feel
know what's
like
acceptable? Oh.
women exploring is more acceptable. I just feel like it's more sexualized.
Yeah, that's
Ah.
what I meant. Sorry. That's what
And
I was explaining. Sorry.
like, well, to be honest, I've seen people talk about countless times is that the world that we view right now is from a male gaze,
Mhm.
Ah.
which is so weird. It's the weirdest thing. Man is the weirdest thing because then it's all the toxicity that males are experiencing. Does that mean that it's because of a male set up society?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Pretty much.
Telling
They,
them men are toxic.
we knew
I mean,
that.
everybody's toxic, but I hope whoever's.
But no, everyone's toxic because we're seeing through the man. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's not.
I don't want the podcast to be like us women ganging up on men. It's just just to
I'm
speak
joking.
about
Let me be.
We're
I'm
not
sorry.
ganging up on men. We're talking about how super straight men are
Yeah,
like.
there's a difference. There's a difference.
Yes,
They're
they want to be
toxic.
so different. We're not talking about the straight men. We're talking about the super straight men who feel like it is okay to create a whole lot of sexuality because straight wasn't good enough. Like, what rights were
They want to
taken
be
away from
special.
you?
genuine. That's a good question. What rights are being taken?
What are you gonna
Oh,
fight
I know.
for? What is this
I
movement
know.
about?
They're fighting
Are
for
they
the
being
truth.
oppressed somehow?
Wait, no. How they're fighting for the truth? They're fighting for. Okay, let's see the problem. The problem is they have a problem with trans
Their
people.
ego, their pride,
They're fighting
their
for their
fake
pride. There we go. They're fighting for their
masculinity.
pride
you
because
know, and
it's not. It's demasculine in masculine masculine
Emma.
demasculine.
The masculinity.
They're demasculine the fact
right.
they're
That
being this
one.
masculine when they're with the I'm sorry.
hmm
It's
I
the
don't remember.
masculine.
I don't remember which. There was a celebrity that was openly with a transgendered. I think if that's the word, because there's a difference between transsexual and transgender. There was a open celebrity that was with a transgendered female in the black community, and of course we love. There's a different level of toxicity in the black community than
Mm-hmm.
in another type of community. So
Yup.
when he when he came up with this, everybody was like, "Oh, you dating a dude? You are gay? You are a homosexual man before, and no, you are dating him. You are actively pursuing this person." And I was like, "Okay, so if this is the baseline, this is the standard, this is what everyone is seeing. That if you would just even for a second think of dating somebody that is not cisgendered, then automatically you are not heterosexual."
You're gay. Cause that's a man in a wig and a man in a dress. That's not what I believe. Okay, don't take offense to that. I'm just saying what they're thinking or saying. Okay.
I just feel like
I
the
don't believe that.
reasoning for everything is flawed because if
Mhm.
a trans woman isn't really a woman because she wasn't born with female parts, when she get them, what is she?
A
You,
man with female parts.
Which
you know
makes no sense to me. It just doesn't.
you know what's the craziest thing too is that they're even let me there are arguments that the reason why people do not date transgender, sorry, or transgender women are the fact that they want to make children.
Okay, but there's some cis women who can't have children.
Exact
Aha!
flawed thing. I don't
Does that
understand,
make them less of a woman then? I'm
and I
sorry.
don't think that a good amount of them do any type of research on the topic of it. Like a lot of people will go out and search for this information, right? So they'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
they actually hear what actual trans people are saying about this topic, that it's okay to not date them. Because if you don't want to date them, no one cares. You're not going to want to date everybody. It's stupid to want to date everybody. It's okay, and it's okay to have genital preferences and preferences overall. Everyone is allowed to have their okay boxes and their not okay boxes. Everybody have different boundaries. But it's when you start things like this, I think that's when it gets so mucky and so dirty, and they're like, why? And I just want to know why they think it's necessary. I'm trying to understand, and I cannot reach that conclusion. I feel that's why I keep on going in circles.
because
Why?
it's not normal.
Hmm. I feel like what we need to do is just have everyone mind their own business. Like,
How
Exactly.
can
no
we?
one cared. No
Okay,
one
it's
cared.
upsetting the balance.
The balance.
It's upsetting what's normal and what's supposed to be right. How can we ignore that? That's
But
wrong.
we're the ones that dictate. That's the craziest part too. We're the ones that dictate what's right and what's not right.
Aha.
But the thing is, if everybody just mind their business and stop worrying about what other
Other
people are doing, you
people.
know
Yeah.
how much easier it would be. Like, why do we need all these labels? Why do we need all these boxes? Why do I
Mm.
have to fit in like one specific
Thing.
place?
Mhm.
Ah. I'm sorry, you
Okay.
guys touching like some points, man.
Before you move on from that point, I think I was talking to Sam about this the other day, where it's like, why is the default thing straight? I am not LGBT, but why is my default thing straight? I'm still figuring out what I want to be and who I want to love, not allowed to love, because you're allowed to love everyone or any, but I'm still figuring that out. Why is my default straight? What if I choose to be lesbian tomorrow and then choose to be something else the next day? Why is the default always straight? Why is that box there? Why does it draw a line in the sand from what you are allowed to be as a default, quote unquote default, and what you're allowed to be beyond that point?
A man and a woman are supposed to come together, and it's natural for them to be attracted to each other so they can reproduce. If you like a woman now, you're a woman and you like a woman now, that's not normal. How are you going to reproduce and populate the earth? A man and a man can't populate the earth. That's not normal. A man and a woman should be attracted and fall in love with each other to reproduce. And that's life. That's normal, okay? That's normal. What's the program, you LGBT people?
Um, before if just in case anybody noticed
I'm sarcastic, guys, because I'm part of the LGBT family too. So like I don't have these thoughts, but I am playing the voice of the opposite
The
team, you
super
see?
straighters.
I
um
don't know if I can play it to that level. I'm sorry.
before we continue, I would like Anna to just clarify what she means by choose, because every single time it will always trigger me when you say choose. I know I personally know what you mean, but could you explain what you mean by choose? Because you don't. Personally, I think, in my personal opinion, anybody could probably differ. I don't think you choose who you are.
You're born with it. You're just born like that.
I'd like to hope that's what I think, because I didn't
I
choose.
think so too.
I didn't
I
choose.
think I'm just this way, and so yes, I think I was born like this, and I only
Okay.
understood it and recognized it at a certain age. So I know,
I
Okay, I
just
think
okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think when I say choose, I mean there are possibilities that people are born that way, and that's fine. But also, it is something that you have to come into as a person. So it's not that you choose it per se, it's more like figuring out what you want for
So,
yourself. Like, instead of being placed in a box and saying, this is the default and you are straight, you are born straight. How about we give the person that open space or that open category to decide what they want to be? Whether you want to be straight or you want to be a lesbian, you want to be pan, you want to be whatever you choose to be. Let's just That's what I mean by choosing. It's not that you aren't born with it, but it's to give the person the free space to decide who they get to love, if that makes sense. Yes?
yeah, understood.
I
Yeah.
was going to say I heard that being gay is a genetic thing. Like if there's someone in your family that's gay, there's going to be some like okay, let's say yeah, if someone in your family is gay, there's going to be someone else in the family that's gay. Let's say you have a brother and he's gay, and then you have kids, right? One of your kids going to be probably gay by whatever the chances.
With
I don't know.
that
That's what people say.
with that logic, I believe I'm supposed to be awaiting a coming out because as
Am
far
I
as I
straight? Oh my god. Will I be straight forever? Oh my god.
Wait, do straight? Wait, I saw something that said like, do straight people even have to come out as being straight? Like, imagine saying, "Mom, Dad,
then
I'm straight."
it's the default
That
as I
would
explained to my friend, if you were supposed to see somebody on the road, just normal, unless they have quote unquote homosexual tendencies, which is
Sissy
meaning
that walk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
is
RuPaul.
which is, whatever people think that is, then then you are going to be deemed as heterosexual. It's just that's what you are.
but I feel like that shouldn't be the case. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
There should be an open space where when people see you, they shouldn't assume that you are straight or a heterosexual. It should be a free space where you're like, oh, what is your sexuality? Rather than saying, oh, you're straight. Do you get what I mean?
I'm
I feel
sexually
like
attracted to pants.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I started thinking about the frying pan, and it just got me. I'm so sorry.
no, I feel like we need to get to that place because I love that there's LGBT and I love that there's straight people. We like having the diversity. It's just we need to stop trying to box people in and segregate them and draw lines in the sand like these are the rules. You're either straight or you're LGBT. Why do I have to be in a box?
To identify.
Yes, that's fine. I'm not saying to not identify yourself, but suppose you don't know.
You know what's the thing is that okay? I feel like the initial starting of like male or female was doing, of course, harmless because I don't think anybody intended on it being. They were just doing it. Oh, you have this genitalia, then you're this person. But then, as we progressed as what I say, civilization, race, species, as we progress,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we notice that it's more complex than it is, right?
Bro, giraffes are gay.
Right, but okay, let me like how okay, as an example, let's say that we are giraffes, male and female. We kind of can agree on that because we do it by genitalia. So I'm guessing just like how we classify even the different species. It's all about classification so people can better understand the world around them. I feel like that's the point of it in the first place. But now that we have evolved as a species, then it's starting to become a bit iffy, right? And it's weird that we're not adapting to
Mhm.
that sort of thing when that's supposed to be like a human thing. Adaptation is one of the
Yeah.
greatest. That's what makes humans so great. It's so great that we can adapt to new situations. Why is this one so hard for us to adapt to?
Because we've been living in it for so long. Does that make sense? It's like if you train somebody to walk from point A to point B, after a while your brain is going to be confused when they add C. You're like, wait, what am I supposed to do with this? Where
You
did this
know how
come
many
from?
gay
How am I supposed to
monarchs,
know?
monarchs, like those noble peoples. There are a lot of gay noble people, but they didn't really talk about it. It was hush hush situation, and they would normally have their attendant or whoever was close to them, them bedmate. But again, it was a hush hush situation because at them time, I mean, yeah, it's still around. Religion plays a part too. Never do you want to bring it up, but religion plays a big part.
It does.
And even though they had these feelings towards the same sex and then they wanted to pursue it, they couldn't because It's against their teachings. I was just randomly thinking.
No, understand. Goodness, I don't see us as especially, and even again back to the super straight movement. It shows that this is not going to be the easiest thing for us to adapt to. It's going to take some. I don't even feel like I'm going to live to see it. To see
I don't
people.
think our grandkids and their grandkids are going to live to see it the way this society is so close-minded.
I must say that in terms of the LGBTQ plus community, there is some things that have changed because when I was like 10, it completely changed. It was so taboo when I was 10. I know it's like
That's true.
10 decades after. I know it's illegalized. Legal people can get married now. People can have children.
Decade after, babe?
I didn't even know
Decade
what
I
after.
gay
just
was when I
One
was
decade.
younger.
So, I mean, a lot has changed. Of course, not in Jamaica. Nothing has changed here.
Oh
Nothing has
no.
changed here.
So
But
closeted here.
overall, on a larger scale, like more diverse or more
Diverse.
countries are taking on that type of, yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I feel like we said a lot. Do we have any more to say?
Hashtag super straight movement. Hashtag the new homophobia. Hashtag
You know what would be funny? If someone did hashtag LGBT, hashtag super straight. Like choose a side.
Oh, oh.
But like, how long is this movement going to
wait.
last? Is my question.
Good question.
I
I,
don't know, the way people stupid it can last a good while, probably for a couple months. Or a couple weeks. I think couple weeks, yeah. Unless a big name person decides to keep up with this madness, it will continue for a few months. But I think it's just for a
I
few.
mean, it's not going to be officialized. But anybody? Okay, final thoughts, guys.
Final
Super
thought
straight, super
is
stupid.
super straight movement does not make any sense. Like they're not proving any points. I don't think they have any rights that were taken away from them, so they really have nothing to fight for. Them just fighting because they feel like they want to fight. Them just bored, basically. Yeah, that's my thought on that.
Super straight equals super homophobic. Yeah, that's maths.
Okay. Well, I guess this is the end of the podcast. Guys, I'm going to put a small disclaimer. We are educated on a lot of these topics. These are just our thoughts and opinions on the knowledge that we currently have right now. If you have any other thoughts, we'd love to hear them. We'd love to see them. And yeah, this is us.
Maybe,
What you just
maybe,
say?
sorry, I was saying maybe we need to have someone on to explain their side of the story because maybe we're misunderstanding it. I feel like
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why we need a super straight person, but we don't know no super straight person.
Maybe
Chama?
next time we will seek out a super straight person if this topic is still hot
Remember,
and
straight
by the
enough.
time.
Not no super. I'm sorry, but I have to make sure it's clear. Super straight. Not a straight person. Straight persons are boring.
Why be straight when you can be super straight, right? Okay. Good. Do we all say bye together as a unit?
Are we stretching out the
Like
bye?
on the Susan show?
Is that what it was?
Are we like stretching out the bye?
Could
I
stretch
mean,
out
yeah,
the bye. What we feeling like? We feel like a bye, or we feel like bye, guys.
sure, whatever works.
Whatever
Whatever.
works. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
What? We like the
Okay,
third
I guess
one.
it's in the bag.
What should our outro be? What should our outro be?
That should be our outro. That was chaotic.
That was okay. Okay, we're leaving that in then. Yeah.